the last quarter of 2020. Let's plan the last 90 days of this year. Welcome back to my writing studio. I'm sitting down to plan the last 90 days of this year. Can you believe it? We are coming to the end of this year. It's been a hard year, but personally I feel I did better than I would have imagined I would have done given everything. I think that's because I consciously focused on at least one thing that was positive. Every month had some bad news, at least so far, and it has been hard to focus on anything positive, but I have tried to collect all the positives that have happened so far. If you've seen me plan my months or my quarters, you know I have a sheet where I write down something positive that happened that month, and that has helped me keep motivated and keep going. Some of the systems that I have in place were really tested this whole year. Some of them didn't do very well, but some have really stood out, made the difference, and helped me navigate these erratic months. This quarter I'll start working on my goals for the next year, and if you've watched my earlier videos on goal setting, you know I start planning my goals for the next year in November itself, because I take my time to plan my goals and I start planning in November and keep working on the plans up to January, mid-January of the next year. In this quarter, I will start working on my goals. Now, when I say I start working on my goals, that does not mean I'm only working on planning these goals or only working on this one thing. It just means I start getting in the mindset of thinking ahead, thinking about the future, take my time to think about the things I want to accomplish in the next year, what are my deadlines, what are the key events that I want to happen in the coming year. So I start thinking about all these things, gather my thoughts around them, and start working towards them starting November. I had some specific goals that I absolutely wanted to hit by the end of this year, and I worked out how much I needed to get done every quarter, every month from there. I used my workbook, Goals from Start to Success, for that. For the rest of everything else that I wanted to do this year, I worked on them in 90 days chunks. This year, I finished working on my goals in the third week of January. By the time February rolled around, we already had started hearing about the potential lockdown here where I am. But because I had planned for only the first 3 months, I was able to quickly adapt and change things around. In fact, I feel I was tweaking and adjusting my goals every month, which meant I was constantly focusing my energy on what I could do and what truly mattered to me. I think this year I was really able to identify what was important to me and prioritize tasks and let go of things that seemed important but were just distractions. That's been one of the big things that I learned and I got to practice a lot this year. Constantly go through my task list and identify what really mattered. And that's something I want to carry with me going forward. I'm not sharing this to show off or make you feel bad if you didn't get a lot done this year. Trust me, I've had a few crappy weeks every month. And all this is relative. Right now, I'm consciously focusing on the positives, and I don't want to bring you down with any kind of negativity. I want to share this because I want you to know that setting goals is not a one and done kind of a thing. You have to constantly keep looking at it, see what's working, what's not working. I want to show you exactly what that looks like. It's easy for someone to say you should set goals or set smart goals, but what does that look like in real world? Are you a planner? How do you work on your goals? Let me know in the comments below. When I'm working on my quarterly goals, I look at the projects I'll be working on from the previous quarter and the new projects I need to start working on this quarter. and depending on how much time I'm left with, I'll pick up any other projects that I want to work on. For this quarter, I have two big projects. The first one is The Rajput. If you've been following me, you know that I've been working on this novel, The Rajput. I have figured out the tentative date for release in mind, and I'm going to start planning for it. I will create a master task list for this book release. There are a few things that I have done in the past for my other books, but I will be trying new things for this book, mainly for marketing and promotions. So I want to give myself enough time to think about all these things, have dates by when things will need to get done, what is my budget for each part like editing, cover design, PR, etc. In all transparency, I have been thinking a lot about all these things, planning, testing things for 2 months at this point. So when I'm allocating 1 week in my calendar to work on planning this project, I know I can do this because I already have experience in planning for a project like this, and also because I have been thinking about it, researching, reading, educating myself. And now I know I can put together everything in 1 week. I want to clarify that because I don't want you to think I am a superwoman who can do all this in just 1 week. So if you're planning to work on your self-publishing roadmap, give yourself enough time, and also be open to the fact that you will have to keep revisiting your plan and change things. In one of my videos, I mentioned that there are some personal events that I'm expecting to happen in 2021, which is making it very hard for me to commit to a release date for this book. But I've decided to go ahead with my plans with a tentative date in mind. I think as things will unfold, I'll keep changing my plans, and if I need to, I will even move around the release date. I have thought about it and I'm okay with doing that. In normal circumstances, this is not how I would have done things. Once I decide on a release date, I like to announce it and start creating a buzz, talk about it, so I can get more people to know about my book and about the release date, so I can give my book a better chance. But this is an unusual thing I'm doing this time around, and I don't want to give a release date right now because I don't want it to backfire. I have a master checklist of all the things I do or I like to do to release a book, and I have to fine-tune it to this particular book. If you'd like to see a video on this checklist, leave a thumbs up emoji in the comment section below and I'll make one soon. The next big project I have is to prepare to take a 1-month break. Usually this is the time I would travel to meet my family, but that's not going to happen this year. Instead, I want to spend time at home, take a break from all the content creation, slow down the pace, read a lot of books. To do all this and to make sure that all the work that I've put in to cultivate this community, my author platform, does not suffer just because I am on a break, I have to make sure that I do things beforehand. I have to look at all the activities I generally do and things that I absolutely must do to keep the momentum going, and the things that I can scale back on. I have decided that I'll continue working on my book. I'm not going to take a break from that. But I will take a break from social media and my YouTube. So I'll have to batch a lot of content, have all the videos ready, which means the video topics, write down what I want to talk about in these videos. Looking at my schedule, I have blocked the entire month of November to film and edit these videos. So I have to make time for that in my schedule. So these are the two big projects that I will work on this quarter. Other than that, while I'm on a break, I will work on my goals for the first quarter of 2021. As a writer and as an author, what are some of the goals or projects you'll be working on these last 90 days? If you'd like to know more about how I plan as an author and what are some of the goals that I work towards, watch this playlist and I'll see you in the next one.